Time to get back to natural. Peace, family. Happy new moon, supermoon in Pisces. This is very much endings energy. Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac. So we're preparing for the real new year, the astrological new year, with Aries season coming in for our next new moon. And the words that I downloaded, including endings, is emotions and expectations. Go into that a little bit further, but we do have our fish energy. As we know, the Pisces sign is symbolized by the two fish swimming in opposite directions, but giving that eternal energy of the sacred circle, constantly in a natural flow. And it's an energy that makes us feel like, despite the fish going in two different directions, they always land in the same place with that natural flow of that circular motion. So it just symbolizes the journey and the cycle and the circle of life, and how everything is exactly as it is supposed to be. We've got this new moon, supermoon in Pisces at 1 degrees Pisces. This is our fourth new moon in a row that is landing at 1 degrees, which is really heralding in incredible new beginning energy. We've got our fifth one coming up for the Aries new moon that is also going to be in 1 degrees, actually just before 1 degrees. It's going to be technically at like a 0 degrees energy of Aries, which is very, very auspicious, very powerful for that new moon with a new astrological new year, with the first sign of the zodiac, Aries, coming in next month. We've got our mutable sign with Pisces that's about flexibility. It's all about the flow. It's about being adaptable, ruled by Jupiter and Neptune. So that's bringing in very expansive dreams, and us tapping into really thinking about how big we can dream, how much more we can expect, again with that energy of the expectations, thinking more, dreaming bigger, and expecting our manifestations to arrive. This is very different energy from our general new moons where we're planting seeds, because what I downloaded was specifically tapping into the fact that we have been planting our seeds. This is, again, endings energy, coming into a new, astrological new year coming in for the Aries new moon in March. And it's about just believing and receiving that we've planted the seeds, and that we are now in an alignment to actually receive it, for everything to come into fruition. And when we come into that energy of expectations, it's that we are expecting this energy to come through. Oftentimes when we think about finances, we say that, we align with unexpected income, for example. But this is an energy of really expecting it, putting ourselves out there to be like, I know that this is coming, that I have done the work, I've planted the seeds. And there has to come a point where we realize that we've done the work, and that we've done enough in many ways, and that there's still always more to come. But in terms of what we've already put out, that we're ready to receive it, that it's coming through for us. We're tapping into our emotions. This is about going inward to get a little bit more clarity in regards to what it is that we actually want to manifest, and how much more, again, in that notion of dreaming bigger and asking for the more, and thinking that even more than we've manifested is going to come. That's where the expectation alignment comes in as well, that we understand that there is and understand that there's only so much that we can manifest, that we can create in terms of our limited scope in the human aspect of our divinity. But in terms of tapping into source and tapping into creatrix energy, we understand that there is always going to be more that spirit and our ancestors and source has for us. So that's the more that we are expecting. It's like, you give the extra. I've claimed and I've named what it is that I want, and now I'm going to sit back and be ready to receive it, and allow myself to give myself permission to receive it. Pisces rules the feet, so I am going to be sharing a ritual to cleanse and detoxify the feet. So I will share that a little bit later, maybe in a separate video, depending on how long this one is going to be, because I do want to try to keep all of these under 11 minutes. So this is an alignment with healing. It's about commitment and relationships and romance and creativity. Opportunity for spiritual awakenings and psychic experiences, and just tapping into mysticism, intuition, our imagination, passions, and purpose. And again, that notion of manifesting. We've got a very powerful stellium right now in Pisces with the sun and the moon in Pisces. We've got Venus in Pisces as well as Neptune in Pisces, and Neptune being one of the ruler of Pisces makes it very, very auspicious for our dreams to just come into fruition. And on the 7th of March, we have Saturn that is going to be going into Pisces for 2.5 years. And that is the first time that Saturn is in Pisces since the past 29 years. And that's really bringing in an energy of tapping into responsibility and maturity and karma and the structures of things in regards to the dreamy nature of Pisces, and just kind of bringing in an energy of grounding those dreams and really bringing it to fruition. So that's why it is very, very powerful for us to bring these things to, to actually come down to us, as they've been very up energy in regards to the Pisces dreaminess and Neptune's dreaminess. It's important now to think about getting into alignment with the feeling of what it is that you've manifested, and getting into an attitude of gratitude and really feel it as if it is already yours. We talk about that all the time, but this is that energy to really completely tap in. And that's the expectation of just being so sure that it is yours, that it is here, that you're already giddy, you're already excited about it. That is thinking about the law of assumption. That's what we're switching over from our mindset of a law of attraction to a law of assumption, of assuming that it is already here. Just be completely aware of what it is that you truly believe in order to receive it. And that just clears out any blockages and any doubts that can prevent you from having that to come through. It's an energy to respond and not react because of the emotions, because of the fact that it is about going inward. We are thinking about endings and what it is that we need to release in order to increase, and also thinking about the new year, the new astrological new year. What is it that we don't want to take over into this new energy? It's about making time for music and art and dancing and sex, whether that's personal in terms of your self-love, or if it's in regards to a partnership, self-love and self-care. It's about taking baths and just really taking care of yourself with luxury and opulence in every way that we can, so that we're allowing ourselves to really go with the flow, but yet staying grounded at the same time. With all the emotions that are going to be coming up, we definitely want to feel it to heal it, face it to replace it. And the best way to do that is to do what you love, to be inspired, to be honest about what you don't love, what you don't want to do anymore. And this is a time to really don't engage, if you don't have to, in dynamics that don't make you feel good, in certain activities and exercises that don't make you feel good, and just really, again, align with the opulence and the luxury of life. Be open to spontaneity and just really being on the spur of the moment and tapping into that energy. Indulgence, and think about the fish energy of swimming and floating and not allowing yourself to drown in the emotions. When we think about how intense the emotions can get, and when we think about, let's say, a riptide, when an ocean is having a riptide, if you struggle, if you fight against the riptide, it's going to pull you under. What you're actually supposed to do is just lean back, is just to literally be calm and float. Welcome the ebbs and flows and the ups and downs and the waves. And let the waves take you. Let things kind of just, again, let the buoyancy of life be what is comfortable. Be comfortable in the lack of comfort in many ways. The detachment to an outcome, even though we're thinking about the notion of expectation, because we have such a notion of expectation of like, I'm just so sure it's coming, it makes it easier to actually detach from it. That's where we are fortifying our faith. That is where we're in an alignment of divine timing and knowing that everything comes in its time. You don't want to pick fruit that is not ripe. You don't want to pull anything out of the ground before it's time, before it is harvest season. So just have faith that it is absolutely going to happen when it's supposed to. And that's, again, the same energy with the fish going in different directions, but knowing that it is going to land. You are going to end up where you're supposed to be no matter what. So don't worry about being on a wrong path. Don't worry about regrets. When I think about regrets, I also very much think about any regrets that we can have should be celebrated, because that means it's an energy that we wouldn't do again. It's something that we wouldn't repeat. It's a mistake, for lack of a better word, that we wouldn't do again. So it's something to be proud of when you can say, wow, I wish I would have done that differently, or I wouldn't do it that way anymore. that's something to celebrate, because you're showing expansion, you're showing growth. And that's what this energy is about, especially with Jupiter being one of the rulers for Pisces, is about that expansion, is about that growth, about being something and somewhere more than you were before. It's not a time to put pressure on yourself. Release doubt, release fear. Again, that's just that energy of feeling like you should be somewhere else. And just know that everything is happening exactly the way that it's supposed to. And that as long as you know what the what is in regards to your dreams, in regards to going inward and expanding that dream, that notion, and then just having full faith that it is going to come to fruition when it is divinely timed, that's the surrender that is so important for us to have right now. And it's a time to also record our dreams, whether they're daydreams, night dreams, the visions, the ideas, the concepts. And when you think about journaling, you also want to be writing these dreams down, recording them, ask questions to spirit, and write those questions down in your journal and stick them under your pillow. You're going to start to see those messages coming through for you. So we're at 11 minutes almost, so I'm going to do a part 2 on this one. So stay tuned for that. Thanks for tuning in. Peace.